Mouthpiece, episode number 8. We're coming to you live from the Rio sequestered box in the Bellagio suite. That's right. We are fucking gonna show you and tell you what it was like for Phil Hellmuth's drive for 11, Alan Cunningham's drive for 5, my hand of the week, World Series of Poker, week number 2, my hand of the week, my drive for bracelet number 3. Coming to you next on the Mouthpiece. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here live from the Rio sequestered box at the Bellagio Suites, and we're here on the Mouthpiece, and we are going to have a special call-in from Phil Hellmuth Jr. himself. He's going to talk about his 11th bracelet and how it was like to be in this box. He's going to talk to me from the outside of the box because I am where he was in the box, not being able to get in and watch him go for number 11. We're going to talk about that. We are going to get him right away on the calls. This is Mike the Mouth Mattis, so how's it all going today? Okay, week number 2 at the World Series of Poker has kicked off. And as you know, it was a special week in week number 2. We had Alan Cunningham drive for 5. He succeeded. We had Phil Hellmuth Jr. go for 11, and he also succeeded. Congratulations to Alan Cunningham. What a great player he is. He came in short stacked in his pot limit tournament, and he got the job done. That's bracelet number 5 for him. He had a shot at the main event last year. If he's not the best player in the world right now, which I don't know if he is, because I think Phil Hellmuth is, he's number 2. So it was a great week. As you heard, I didn't know about this. There was the sequestration in the box for players that were on the online tournament. Not online tournament, but on the webcast that people pay $50 for, that we get none of. And no family members were allowed in. And I had a big problem with this because of the fact that people lived their whole lives to get to a World Series of Poker final table. They lived their whole lives to play against Phil Hellmuth. And it was cut off to only one family member and one person only. I was really upset with this. I went berserk. They threatened to kick me out. They actually called my agent and said if I didn't calm down, they were 86ing me from the property. It was pretty ugly down there. I thought it was wrong. I thought it was a sad day in poker because with a man that's going for his 11th bracelet, it would have been standing room only crowd. There would have been nobody even close to be able to get a seat. And instead, not only did we weren't able to see it, we weren't getting updates. Nobody knew what was going on. And I felt it was a sad day in poker. I am no longer going to bitch and complain about it. They explain that they're trying to work on it and trying to make it better. I'm not going to knock it anymore. It is what it is. They know what it is. They have my opinion of it. You guys got my opinion of it. You got to see me in the box. And that's how it looked like when we were trying to get Phil Hellmuth. And now we're going to talk about my drive for bracelet number 3 this week. I know everybody. I promised you all when we came on here next week that I was going to have a bracelet, and I really worked hard to get it. It was $2,500 buy-in at the World Series. I took the chip lead early in this tournament, and I pretty much held either the chip lead or one of the top 5 positions through day 1 and day 2. And I really dominated. It was one of the sickest tournaments I ever played. I would have to say that I played as good as I was capable of playing, and I want to congratulate the winner, Francois, who I thought was a great player. I mean, I had this guy busted 3 times. He hit a miracle. Well, he played great, but he hit a 3-outer twice, a 2-outer another time. I mean, it was just meant to be for him. And I had him down to 30,000 in chips, and I had over 300. So just to give you an idea, never to give up in tournament poker. I congratulate Francois for winning. He's a great player. But, you know, with 11 people to go, I drew the great table. I mean, I had 5-handed, they had 6-handed. There was 4 if not 5 of the top pros at the other table, and I had a bunch of weak players except for Humberto that were just letting me dominate the table. I took some real bad beats. I mean, you know, she open raises for 120, and I got 2 queens in a big blind. I insta-call. She's got ace-jack, you know. An unbelievable flop. I mean, it comes jack, 7, 8 of hearts. Now, I got 2 queens with the queen of hearts, but she's got ace-jack with the ace of hearts. Now, you could say, wow, what a flop. Okay, granted, she has a heart draw that busts me, a jack that beats me, or an ace that beats me. But, you know, there's 2 more hearts out. There's 3 on the flop is 5. I mean, there's 8, you know, there's 8 hearts and 2 jacks, and it's 10, and 3 aces is 13. So she essentially went from 3 outs to 13 outs. But, you know, I'm still the favorite, and lo and behold, ace on the turn, and that was a $250,000 pot. And then came a real key hand, the next one up. After I lost that, I bounced back a little bit, and I raised it up with king, queen of clubs. They all folded the big blind who calls. And the flop comes king, 6, deuce, rainbow. And coming from the Phil Hellmuth School of Poker, which I put into my game, he checked, I checked, because, you know, no limit hold'em is a game of trapping. And it's not a game of a misconception of aggressive that everybody thinks it is, because it's not. It's a game of trapping and getting your opponents to put all his chips in dead. And I knuckled it, and the turn card came at 10 of hearts, and he leads out $50,000, and there's 2 hearts out the board. But I just smooth called because I want him to think that I hit a 10, and that and I know for a fact it comes a blank on the river, he's going to make a huge bet and try and make me lay down because he thinks that I picked up a 10. And so I flat called with a 10. And all of a sudden it came a heart, and I knew he was on a heart draw when he bet the turn, but he wanted me to think that he hit a 10 or I had a 10. So the heart comes on the river and he goes like this and holds his head. The second he does this, I was 100% sure he made a flush. I mean, you had to see it. He went check, and I go check, king, queen. He goes nut flush. I go no shit. So it was kind of funny, and that one kind of hurt. You know, now all of a sudden I'm down to 145. And I was just like, raise, raise, raise. Then the guy would raise, I'd move in, raise, re-raise. I literally raised probably 15 or 16 hands, and they're not even aware of this. And all of a sudden my stack's 540, and they don't even know it. And I'm just laughing. And I'm just like, this is I'm going into the final table with 800,000, maybe even $1 million. You know, I'm going to be absolutely the one to beat at the final table because I'm lucky enough to have the good table draw. And Humberto is consistently moving in on the button, consistently coming over the top out of the blinds. And this is his game. He's got no game. I mean, I'm going to say it like this. Humberto Brenes has no game. What Humberto Brenes has is, shock, I'm all in. He got nothing else but that because that's his game. So I think this kind of changed the tide a little bit is he's moved in on the button like 10 times in a row. And I look down the small blind, I got 2 kings. And Humberto goes, he puts his tip on his card in the button. I'm like, he's going all in. Bye-bye, Humberto. And the son of a bitch folds on the button. It's the only time he folded the button the whole entire time. And, of course, I had the kings there, and I didn't double them up there. But, you know, I had a good read at the table, and the hand come up, a guy raised on the button. Now, the guy who raises on the button, when he has a pair, he tends to raise in a certain way, and when he has, like, a big ace, he raises this way, and this guy, I mean, I'm dialed in. I know what's going on. He makes it 60, and I said to myself, that's ace-jack, it looks like to me. And Humberto looks down at his card. Now, he's really slow and methodical. When he has a big hand, he takes his time. Looks down like this, and he goes, all in, like he always does. And the second he did that, I'm like, oh, man, I hope he don't have shit. I know he don't have shit. And I look down. I got 2 jacks. I said, all right, I'm all in too. And I didn't even hesitate because I knew that the guy on the button had an ace, and at best, Humberto had an ace. And the guy on the button says he folded ace-queen. Humberto rips over ace-queen, and lo and behold, the queen come on the flop. $410,000 pot I lose. I lose $173,000. And now the small blind comes by. I fold it, and the button comes up next. And I look down, I got 2 blackjacks again. I open raise for 60, and the guy in the small blind goes, I'm all in. And he insta-moved all in, and I'm going to say I probably made a mistake not taking a second to think because he's really only come at me one time. He's really pretty much let me dominate the table. But because I was so aggravated from the hand before, I'm thinking, well, you know, I got 240 left. There's already 180 in the middle. I'm like, well, why do you move in so fast? I go, he could have a middle pit like 9s or 10s. And I called him too fast. He had 2 kings, and out of the tournament I went. Sorry, fans, I didn't get there. Maybe next time.